Hi, my name is Dr. Michelle Stanley, and I'm the flute professor at Colorado State University. And in this video, I'm going to give you tips on preparing Colorado All-State Band and Orchestra audition excerpts for 2016. Every year, I hear students prepare these excerpts, and I hope to help you work on these pieces too. A great audition starts with early preparation. It is easy to look at these excerpts and think they look simple and that they don't need a lot of lead time to prepare. That might be true, but it's only true once you actually learn the excerpts. It is great to practice as early as possible so that you're feeling comfortable with the music as the audition gets nearer. Plan your practicing so that these excerpts are old friends on audition day. One thing I want to stress to you as you start practicing these pieces, don't just work on notes and rhythms. While those are very important, they aren't the only thing on the page. I think it's important to remember that you need to stand out in your performance. Standing out means playing with dynamics, beautiful phrasing, thoughtful breathing, and great intonation. And it can be the difference between a successful audition and an unsuccessful audition. Since learning the correct notes and rhythms is still important, try to learn the right notes and rhythms early on in the learning, even if the tempos are under the marked tempi. Another tip for audition preparation is recording yourself. I know that I suggested this on my last preparation video last year, but it bears repeating. Periodically record your practice sessions, and listening back can give you a very candid view of your playing in that moment and will help you to know what to work on moving forward. I recorded these excerpts in preparation for this video, and it was incredibly helpful in hearing my mistakes and things that I liked in my playing to keep. I believe that a successful all-state audition includes playing what's on the page. Don't forget to play the printed dynamics and the articulations. But also play expressively. Don't be afraid to play with strong musicality, as it helps to make the music stand out from the crowd. Vibrato is always welcome. Make sure you play with great vibrato. Don't play any faster than you can play cleanly. In other words, if you're given a tempo range in which you may play, choose the tempo that you can play the best. Sloppy technique isn't a great thing for any audition. A couple of other tips in the few days before your audition. Number 1, get lots of great sleep. Number 2, play your excerpts for other people and especially include your band director in that. Number 3, nerves are very normal, so be okay with them. And remember that even professional musicians get nervous. Before you start playing, take a deep breath, think about the music that you want to play, and begin when you're ready. Prepare early and practice often, and you will feel really great walking in on audition day. Now let's talk about Köhler's Etude number 16. This technical etude requires many different things that the other required all-state etude does not have. There are more technical fireworks and varied articulations in this excerpt, which gives a player a chance to show off some other parts of their playing. There is a trap, however. There is a tempo range given for this etude of a quarter note equals 96 to 112. That's a pretty wide range in this Allegro etude. And I think what's tricky about that is that the range will give you the temptation to play the faster tempo because you think that's what the listener and the auditioner wants to hear. But that's not true. You should play this etude at the tempo that you can comfortably play it at so that your technique sounds effortless and easy. You should also try to pick a tempo that you think sounds the best for the music. You have to honor the music first, so don't play fast just because you can. Play fast because the music sounds great that way. Should you choose a slower tempo, just make sure you play with great momentum and forward-moving phrasing. One additional tip, the last bar is marked largo, so be sure to slow that way down. It's a dramatic ending, so let the tempo show that drama. Notice that this etude has a couple of great expression marks. It opens with con ardore, which means with great warmth. Keep your tone full and pretty, even though your fingers are moving fast. Later, in bar 15, the music instructs ben egale, which means quite smooth. I like to think about keeping my technique really even and clear, though the slurs are in groups of 2. As with the other etude, be sure to play the slurs exactly as marked, as there are unusual articulations within the groups of 4/16 notes. Measure 3 and 4 and measures 25 and 26 are places to look at carefully for this. Also, notice the lack of staccato marks on the triplets in measures 9 and 10. Dynamics present a bit of a challenge in this etude, as there are not many clear dynamic changes throughout. Do play with a strong forte at the beginning and sustain that forte all the way to bar 8. You will notice a second forte marking at bar 9. This is a reminder to stay forte throughout to measure 12. Measure 13 shows a clear piano dynamic, and you should make sure you do that very strongly. Keep that piano all the way to the next marked change in bar 23. You will see a diminuendo in bar 17, so think of that as getting even more quiet or even tapering to the cadence in bar 18. And be sure to sustain your forte from measure 23 all the way to the end, even though the last largo measure of the piece is marked there. There are a few sneaky accidentals to be on the lookout for. Notice the A sharps throughout, and especially in the technical section starting at measure 19. There are a couple of B sharps as well in measure 11 to catch. Measure 15 has a bunch of accidentals, so be careful to play the F double sharps, played as Gs, and the A sharp and D sharp. In measure 17, there is a C double sharp, which is played also as a D natural. One place to mark is measure 22. The grace note A is a natural and not an A sharp as you might believe. It leads back into the key of A major, and even though the A sharp seems logical to apply because it carries through the bar, this is a case where that's not going to happen. Probably the most technical section for you will be from measure 19 to 22. Work on this section slowly to start until you really notice and feel the pattern under your fingers. I found it helpful to see the groupings in the 4s as they're beamed and to really play out the accents so that it grounds each group of 4. These measures will most likely determine how fast you play this etude. Musically, there's a couple of great opportunities for expressive ideas to come out. At measure 17, play with a bit of a ritardando at the end of the bar so that you can properly play an odd tempo in bar 18. Though it's not marked, the odd tempo clearly shows that there should be a slowdown leading into that new time change. In measure 22, there's an allargando marked, which indicates a dramatic slowing into the return to the odd tempo in measure 23. Give the music a lift and a bit of a break before you play those grace notes into the odd tempo at 23. There's no need to be in a hurry here. Lastly, there's some copies of the etude on the web that have some mistakes marked in the last 2 bars. The largo measure should have an F natural and not an F sharp in that bar, and the very last note should be a low A in the staff and not the very high A. Playing it this way adds drama and color to a very fun and short etude. Have a great time with this and play it on your own terms. Good luck.